I cannot remember a day in my life that you do not know every secret in this kingdom.
You give me too much credit, my lord.
I give you none. Enough. How can I trust anyone who serves me?
Do not count them as those who serve you. They served only their ambition.
Then tell me, Vizier, whom can I trust?
No one.
Hey. Hey, guys.
There's lots of photos. Hi,
Nice
everybody.
photo. It's like I said to you backstage, Tut, what up?
What up, Tut? How's it going, guys?
Look at that outfit.
This one, that one, or this one?
Both.
I'm,
This one,
I'm, yeah. I should
The
have brought that. I
eyeliner.
should have brought the hat. I made a mistake, guys. Should have brought that hat.
So this is a big role. This is really exciting. How did this come about? How did you get involved?
Well, I was not employed, so I was doing a lot of auditioning, and and then they said, "Hey, would you want to test for this?" And it's a kind of a intense testing process for something that's this big in scale, because they're just like, maybe we get the right guy, maybe we don't. So it was a long audition process, and we finished. I mean, like I got the part, and that was about a year ago now, and now it's coming out. I mean, I probably got the part a year ago, like this week. So it's weird. Here we are.
Yeah. So what was that filming process like? Was
From
it a
from the
long...
farm to kitchen. So I'm like a restaurant in Brooklyn right now. It was good. It was fun. 4 months in Morocco. We shot all in location. They built all the sets. Like, millions of dollars went into like building like 25-foot like high columns, and everything's hand plastered, hand painted, football field length, like courtyards, and then I'm dressed like that. And then you it's 360. You don't really feel like you have to act very much. It kind of does it all for you. You're just like, I'm in the garb, I'm yelling at a group of people, and there's like massive building around me, so you feel kind of comfortable to kind of do your job. Yeah.
Well, what was it like, though, to take on a role of, playing an historical figure? Did you do a lot of research? Were you nervous?
Yeah, I mean, I think I did a considerable amount of research as the political climate at the time, the kind of religious structure that was in place and the political structure that was in place. It's not like playing a contemporary historical figure in the way that, like, you have footage you can pull from, or like the way that he talked or the way that he walked. But yeah, I think what I did is I kind of looked into the weight of playing a ruler and what that was like, and what that would be like to have like that kind of, I don't know, destiny kind of thrust on you at such a young age.
Go back to your history textbooks, or did you pick up any books to read and do research?
Yeah, I went to the library of all places. They still have those. I don't know. I wasn't on Amazon or anything. I went to a library and I rented. I don't know what you say. What the library lingo is. But I got a bunch of. You
got your library card.
Yeah, I've got my library card somewhere. And I got a bunch of like kind of ancient Egyptian like textbooks and stuff, and just kind of looked things up. And I think it's an amazing culture. I mean, it's a culture that didn't change for the better part of 2,000 years. That's amazing. There's nothing on this planet. There's been nothing like that. So it's amazing.
And so this cast is pretty amazing too. You have Ben
Yeah.
Kingsley. What was that working with him? And did you learn anything from his craft?
Well, Sir Ben is obviously an amazing actor. I grew up, watching him in roles like Gandhi and Sexy Beast, and like he's kind of he's one of the seminal actors of his generation, and I obviously was a huge fan of his, and he's incredibly generous and giving, and it was good. We had a good cadence. We were able to find like an energetic back and forth, so that was nice. I mean, and he was very like made me feel as comfortable as he could, so that was helpful.
And we did talk a little bit backstage about how there are some Game of Thrones actors in Tut.
There are. We poached some Game of Thrones actors. They're all very good in this.
And they're amazing.
They're great.
So what was that? And did you
Nonzo Nazier is maybe one of my favorite actors to
Yeah.
work with. He's just like an incredible presence, and it's a lot of the tension from the first half of this comes from our relationship, and so it's kind of like the center point of the the kind of military political tension. So he's so good, and I was just surrounded by actors who were Alexander Siddig also, who was like Star Trek. He's like one of those guys too. So
He plays Doran Martell on Game of Thrones.
G of T.
Yeah. Are you a fan of that show?
Yeah,
Did you get any spoilers on set?
Yeah, I don't. It was funny because like I always feel when we're doing the camera live thing, talking about any spoilers, they're just like that's so unwarranted. Like they're like trying to watch an interview, like no, why'd you ruin that for me? I get really precious about my spoilers. I don't want to hear anything. Yeah.
I'm the same way. So,
Yeah.
well, maybe a little. I like a little spoiler. But.
Yeah, a little bit spoiler.
All right, I'll give it to you.
Behind
We know
the
what I'm talking about.
scenes stuff is different than a spoiler. Yeah.
Tell me also about your TV career. You've been on a ton of TV shows where this is more like a mini series rather than a movie or TV show. What was different with making this?
Well, when you do a limited series like this, you really get to be able to see the arc of a character, which is a rarity, I think. You get to, like, as an actor, look at a 500-page script and go, okay, here, pick these moments and kind of build a through line. Or with a series that doesn't end, you just kind of, you're at the whim of the writers to do that for you, and you just kind of have to adjust to what's happening. Like with Twisted, it's a show I did on ABC Family for a while. We were just kind of thrown different scripts, and we had to kind of like move with the punches and try to figure out where our character was coming from at any given point. The limited series is preferable for me as an actor, just so I can see the whole thing. But they're definitely just different mediums, And then I did another show called Victorious on Nickelodeon, which is a completely different medium. It's like a multi-camera, like sitcom, and that's a whole other ball of wax too. So I've been able to like learn and adjust as I go through these different versions of television and entertainment.
You
I do circus work next.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go work my way through every medium. Yeah.
You had a nice spread in W Magazine, and you're one of these young actors to watch. But you said a nice quote about how you shouldn't have to jump onto a project every chance you get. You can wait 2 or 3 years between a project and do something you're passionate about. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I think that there's just this kind of weighty, like, if you don't have a job and you're not filming something, you're not an actor. And I think some of the best actors that I know aren't working because that's just the way that it is. And there could be like 3 years where there's not a role that's right for me. And, I just think it's a negative idea to think that like you have to have work in order to like validate the fact that you're an actor. And I have some other interests. I write. I just directed a short and wrote a short that I put together. And I just have different things to keep yourself interested and that you're in control of. That's the big thing, too, because you're not in control of if you're working or not as an actor. So you have to have these other things, like woodworking or something, that, you do. You can wake up in the morning and do, and you feel creative, and you get satisfaction. But it also is not such a big pressure to, like, get the job or whatever it is.
I know that you have some films coming up, too, and you're in I Am Michael with James Franco.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yeah, well, that was too loud. Wow. Yes, I am. I'm in that with Michael with James. He plays Michael and I play Nico. I play his lover while he's living life as a straight man. It's a very complicated story, and it's about his kind of psychology and his kind of placement with his own sexual orientation. And it was fun. It was like he's a great actor and fun to work with. Yeah.
You've worked with some incredible.
I've been lucky,
actors,
yeah. I mean, I've been lucky, but I've loved everyone that I've worked with, and I think, it's fun to get into a set environment and exchange with someone energetically, and you find a cadence, and it all starts working. I've been lucky so far.
And there's incredible movie scripts out there, incredible TV shows. How do you go about picking what projects you're gonna take on? There's Netflix now. There's shows and movies everywhere.
Oh, you think I get to choose? I don't get to choose. I'm just trying to keep my dental, man. I'm just trying to keep it going. I'm just trying to keep the insurance going. That's all. But no, I think it's great. There's like 1,000 different ways to get content now, and Netflix is wild, and it's the wild, wild west, really. It's like it's if you want to get into developing television, this is the time to do it, because it's like there's no system in place. There's no one knows what's going to happen next. Like, are we going to have TV in the next 10 years? What's going to happen? We have no idea. And it's really exciting. It's kind of like I don't like I know anything. I wasn't there in the 70s, but like the film world in the 70s, where you had all these kind of like interesting artists making compelling work, like Francis Ford Coppola or whatever. I think I kind of feel like that's happening in television. It's like this world where people are allowed to be much more creative than they've ever been able to be on television. Because mostly like these showrunners like run these shows, and it's very cool.
We just had the Emmy nominations this morning.
Yeah,
so.
it was very cool. I was really happy with everyone who got nominated. I thought it was really, really cool.
What shows are your favorite ones to watch right now?
Oh, Game of Thrones. It's a great show. I mean, and also I think I've watched Sherlock like 8 or 9 times now. I just love that show so much. And I watch a lot of old shows. I watch like Red Dwarf. Do you know what Red Dwarf is? It's an English like sitcom show about these guys who live on a ship and they sail through space and they just have shits and giggles, and it's fun. It's fun. Yeah. Shits and gigs.
And so you.
Oh, is this water?
Yeah,
Lovely.
you want to sip?
Fantastic.
We actually told him backstage that he could curse, so I'm happy he just said his.
Exactly. Oh shit! I was told
Shits and
explicitly
giggles.
that I can curse, and so I have done twice now. I'm gonna go for a hat trick. I'm gonna save it. It's gonna be good.
So I want to, of course, talk a little bit about your start and how you got your start on Nickelodeon. What was it like working on that network and gaining so many fans at such a young age? And
I mean, it prepares you for a portion of your job as an actor that's unique, especially in like the climate of social media and all this stuff. I love the word social media. It's like the most corporate way of saying like people yelling at each other online, like social media. Anyway, so like it kind of builds you kind of a understanding of how that world works and how interacting with a fan base works. And the fans are so like sweet for that show. And I mean, it's still running. We stopped shooting that show like 4 years ago, and it's still on television. So that's really sweet. It's a testament to like how much the fans have loved the show and watched the show, and I'm always just really pleased to meet anyone who's seen it. And I had fun. I mean, it's a different medium than what I worked in before this, but it's a lot of fun. Yeah.
And you got to work with Victoria Justice, of course, and Ariana Grande, correct?
Ariana Grande, yeah. It was a great cast. I mean, Liz Gillies, who you saw the other day, I worked with her. Woo, Liz Gillies. She's got a show coming out today. You should check that out. Sex and Drugs and Rock and Roll. She's great. It's on FX. I'm just plugging her shows now. I'll just plug everyone else. I'll just give me a list. She's very cool, and I was really lucky. Like every person on that show is so ridiculously talented. So.
And then you mentioned Twisted a little bit before, which was a great show, but it wasn't on for very long.
No, it was on for a short amount of time.
But tell me about that experience.
It was. I'm gonna sip this. It was great. I got some in my beard just now. I'm not used to this mustache thing. I'm working it out. It was great. Twisted was an amazing experience. I got to work with Kylie Bunbury again, which was like really exciting for me because we worked on Twisted together, and she's also in Tut, and she plays my love interest in Tut. So it was cool to be able to work with her again, and that show was an amazing experience as far as a serialized drama is concerned. I learned a lot about like how that stuff gets written. I mean, mostly behind the scenes kind of stuff. You don't really, And then, but it's cool. I'm glad to be working with Kylie again because I thought she's great,
Speaking of love interests and Tut, it was a different time. So you also have a relationship with your sister, who is also your wife.
Yes. She's my sister wife.
There's a lot of...
I have a sister wife. It was, they thought that really, really, really poorly conceived idea that, like, if you keep the blood pure by keeping it in the family. And just that's not how that works. It's just not. Yeah. So there's she's the sovereign state. Sibylla Dean, who plays Anke Sunamun, my sister, she's like the queen, and that's a position more than it is like an actual marriage. So it's actually mostly a sibling relationship in the show. But yeah, it's definitely has like it adds like some complications in there. I'm not gonna reveal the plot to you, but like it's in there. I don't know. Watch it.
So when you look back, what is one memory you take away from the set of Tut? Anything
Just
special?
like a lot of action stuff. I've never done that much action stuff before. I'm like riding chariots and like jumping off those and like fighting people with swords, and it was wild. It was absolutely wild, and I just so lucky to be able to do all that stuff, you know. And I had no idea how to do any of that, and I probably still don't know how to do any of that.
And wearing eyeliner, I see.
Oh yeah, but you know I've wore eyeliner before. That's like nothing new there. That's nothing new there.
And so, I mean, you already kind of have the status already, but what is it like for you to be catapulted into heartthrob status?
Heartthrob stuff. I don't know. I find that's my
Because I have to say, when I watched Tut, it's great. I got some Orlando Bloom vibes.
Orlando
and I was like,
Blooms?
yeah, Pirates of the Caribbean.
I don't know. I think that kind of the moniker of that like heartthrob is such an interesting thing because it's very flattering and that's very sweet. But you know it's almost limiting in a way because to me being an actor is being this kind of changeable thing. And then when people like want to put this label on you, you're a heartthrob. It doesn't allow you to do your job in a way. It's like you must do the thing. You know, never play a character. My God. So I try to avoid it a little bit, but it's flattering nonetheless.
But as soon as you got that status, you can go skyrocket
Yeah, I can
to
just be like,
anything you
no.
want. Exactly. Well, I do want to open it up to some audience questions. So raise your hand.
Hello, raise your hands.
Oh,
I'm not
yeah.
choosing, am I? Please
No.
don't make me choose.
You can though if you
I
want.
don't
You
know.
make them feel special.
It's like too ruthless. Hello.
Is it on? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I
Okay.
can hear you now. Wow, you're behind me. Jesus.
I actually met you at the GLAAD Awards several years
great
ago.
on.
I think it was LA. or
Yeah,
something.
LA. I was at that GLAAD Awards, yeah.
Okay, cool.
I've been to both, actually. I love both. It's great shows, yeah.
My question is, your character on Twisted is really dark.
Yeah.
And you did a really good job on that.
Thank you.
Is that kind of what you tend to be attracted to, that type of characters? I mean, seems kind of dark too, this character.
I like the idea of people who are at odds with themselves. I think that's more interesting to play than like a clear-cut like hero. You know, I think like people don't make people like that. In my opinion, I don't think anyone feels at any point entirely good or entirely bad. And so yeah, I'm always interested with people who are in odds with themselves. That's always an interesting thing to me. And so I guess I lean towards darker roles or just people who are really at war with themselves. Yeah.
Oh, back here.
Somebody else ask a question. Or
Hi, I'm Stephanie.
Hi, Stephanie.
I'm a Built by Girls intern here, and I was wondering what was more challenging, playing Beck on Victorious or Tut here, and what were the biggest differences playing with like Ben Kingsley or on like Nickelodeon?
Well, the biggest difference is I think it's different in every imaginable way. I think that being on Victorious was really fun for me. Like comedy was a thing that I learned on Victorious that I haven't had a lot of practice with. I'd done a lot of drama. Well, I'm so Canadian. So Canadian.
So Canadian.
Drama. Pasta. So yeah, I think that the difference is with this is like I'm holding a lot more of the weight of the show. I mean, like it's all like 74 days shoot. I shot 70 days. I'd never done that before, where I was just like really like don't get sick, never get sick. We got to shoot. You got to be in tomorrow. It doesn't matter. So there's just things that you're like oh now this is the new thing. So I think there's just a lot of new things with Tut. So I think that's would be the most challenging.
On Victorious, you had to do a little singing and dancing.
Yeah, I did a little singing and dancing. I dressed up like a woman. I did a bunch of stuff. Yeah, I did
Were you a singer before that?
I sang in band, like really like yelly punk stuff. I mean, I sing, but I don't think pop career is not in the cards. I don't think I couldn't do what Ariana does with the stage and the whistle tone or that's. Now I know things about voice that I would never know except for being on the show with those girls.
Oh, right here.
How you doing?
Hey,
Earlier
buddy.
in the interview, you mentioned as an actor, I had this question, but you mentioned maintaining autonomy and actual concern for your career and not just grabbing onto anything or any offer that comes your way. Due to the common financial struggles with actors,
Right, of
as
course.
you mentioned, how do you gear yourself for the next role that you feel like, all right, this is for me, and forget my current financial situation?
Right.
How do you gear yourself for the next role?
Well, I think that there's that whole thing is like you don't do anything, like you have to put yourself in a position to get lucky. That's just what being an actor is. I mean, like it's all, a lot of it is luck. You have to have the goods when you get there, but it's preparing yourself to get lucky. And, and there's that whole thing, don't do anything when you're hungry. Don't even eat when you're hungry. So it's like there's like if you can keep yourself afloat financially, then you can make choices that are interesting that don't like affect you. That you actually have the option. You don't have to work because you have to work. And and I've been in that position. I'm an actor. I've needed to work because I need to work. But I feel like it's a lot of it to me is being prepared for the luck, and just being ready for the dice to roll your way, and then. From there, you build and build and build. Yeah, most people are not in a position, and I mean, I'm not, and I never know if I'll ever be in the position to be like, I will decide to do this movie. Like I don't think that happened. I mean, like even if that does happen, like maybe I don't know. I don't think that's a position that most people are in.
And decide to go out for a role.
Right,
and give it
exactly.
your
Like
all,
there's
yeah.
some things that I've gone out for that I was like, that I don't agree with the ethics of this part. I think this part's kind of, I don't know, stereotypical or like pigeonholey and strange and just not well thought out. And so I'm like, I'm not going to do that. I think this is kind of like, for me ethically, I couldn't. Like, there's some parts I was like, I'm not going to do that. So.
Another one? Oh, over here.
Hey, how you doing, bud?
Hey, pretty good. So, really like Victorious.
Great.
Do you ever think there could be a reunion or
Victorious reunion. I don't know. I don't know if a Victorious reunion. I mean, I'm totally not the arbiter of something like that. I would be totally down. But I don't think it's. I don't think it's up to me. But I think what I would love to do, honestly, is just like wait like 5 more years and do like just the raunchiest college version of Victorious ever. I mean, the show was already on the edge anyway. You might just take it all the way, No horror. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, right here.
Comes from behind. It's very strange.
Behind,
Yeah.
right?
Sneaky. I don't. Very jumpy.
A lot of actors say to young actors, have fun in the room when you're auditioning. How do you have fun with a serious role?
Well, that's a great question. I think that fun in the room has like a lot of different connotations. I feel like for me, what I think of is this is my opportunity to do a tiny little play about this character in front of like 5 people or 2 people. And that makes it like it's less objective based because the thing is about like you have the idea of booking the job is so terrifying and so not in your control that the only thing you can offer up yourself as an assistance to yourself is to be like, I'm getting a chance to like go to class and like try a role out in front of these people, and that I feel like something about that ease that does for you makes it easier. That kind of fun, possibly, even if it's drama. See, I said it right that time. Drama, got it. American, nailing it. America. Yeah, it makes it easier. It makes it just easier to watch someone be comfortable and have fun and watch someone explore. That's, I think, the most interesting thing is to watch someone explore. That's what I want to see when I watch a movie. I don't want to watch someone performing. My God, that would be awful. I want to watch someone explore something. Anyway, I don't know. What the hell do I know?
This is going to be our last question.
Okay.
Okay.
Pressure to make it good.
Yep.
Hey, Evan.
Hi.
I saw Night One to Tut, and it's a really.
Oh,
really
you did?
Good. I did.
How?
I got
Sneaky.
friends in high places. There's an intense, like, big fight scene in the first night. I don't know if that's a spoiler or not, but being that you shot in Morocco and it's extremely hot there, how was it to shoot that?
Shit. I just wanted to get my third shit in there. I got four. Now I'm on 4. It was really, really hot and really hard. I mean, we're shooting in the middle of an ancient town in Morocco. It's like a fort that we've rebuilt to look kind of a little bit more of the time. There's no trailers or cars around because you can't get the trailers to there. So it's just as soon as you leave the door in the morning, you don't come back till the evening. And you're in like this tight leather armor, and it's like 110 degrees, and the sun is like right above you, and you're like caked in blood, and it's like rough. Like you're in it. Like there's no stopping, and they just throw you at people. It's like, kill that guy, like, but don't kill him, but like do it, but like make it look like you're killing him, and you're like, all right. And I cut my hand open, I got like 6 stitches, but there's no doctor around.
Battle scar.
There's no doctor around, so the medic that we had, I think we couldn't go to a hospital, so she just stitched me up, like at lunch, and I had to switch my sword hand. So I was like fighting this. This is like very sword, like this is a good sword hand, because I'm right-handed, but then I had to use my left hand, so it wasn't as elegant. I just kind of looked like I looked like a little bit like a toddler with a stick. So anyway, it was hard in short.
Well, Tut starts on Sunday night, and it's a 3-night event.
That's it. 3
I think
days.
it's 6 hours.
6. Well, yeah, I guess it is 6 hours.
Yes,
Yep.
I've watched the first 4 hours, and it's really good, guys.
wow.
So you should definitely stay tuned.
Please,
And thank you
you
for being here. This
Thank
has been
you.
really
Thanks,
fun.
guys. Thank you very much.